Hey, thanks for helping me clean up a little.
No problem. It was a nice party, and I had fun last night.
Thanks.
You mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
What's up with your boys?
They just really want to make sure that I'm cool. That's why they try to have my back on different things. Just make sure I'm all right.
Sounds like they care a lot about you. They must be good friends.
Oh yeah, they're some terrific guys. Marcus is the one that strives to push me forward. Always don't take nothing from nobody. Pretty much just go for what you know. Always striving forward. Don't take nothing from nobody. It's pretty much it's okay to spend a little bit on yourself, a little time on yourself. And it's just a great guy.
Okay. Well, that's nice. So, what about your boy Jay?
Jay. Jay is a great guy. He's his own comedian. He's his own comedian. I'm sticking to this, and I know for a fact, if it ever came down to nitty grit, he'll definitely take a bullet for me.
Okay.
Maybe a BB, maybe a rock, but he's it's more or less it's a thin line between genius and insanity, and he walks straight down the middle of that joint. So we've been sitting there talking, and then I've told you a lot about me. What about you? What are some of your likes?
Okay, well, I am a college graduate. My favorite color is pink. I love Lifetime. A good romance novel. I love to take long hot baths. And I can eat.
You can eat.
I can eat.
Eating is good, because I try to eat Okay. What about your dislikes? What you don't like to do?
My dislikes. Well, I don't like arrogant men. Loud yellow. People who grit their teeth. Spinach. Gangster rap. And scary movies. Okay, Mr. 20 Questions.
Yeah.
All I really know about you is you like to throw great parties.
Yeah.
You like to play jokes. And you like to laugh.
True.
What do you like?
What do I like? I guess, I'm trying to, right in between scary, movies, I guess, like you say, you like Lifetime and all that stuff. Lifetime, I can't get with the Lifetime, because I just can't do it. I've tried.
Oh, okay.
I just can't do it. I'm a more movie man myself. I like sci-fi movies. I'm stuck in between The Matrix and Friday. So,
Okay.
right between there. I like pepperoni pizza. My favorite color is blue.
Oh, okay.
Long walks. I really don't do them. Feet start hurting.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so what about your dislikes?
Dislikes. Let's see. Dislikes. I hate snobby women. Oh, stuck up. Sedity. Can't do it. Funerals, liver. White men. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh no. Just normal stuff.
So, let me ask you another question.
Go ahead, shoot.
Are you saved?
Yeah, I shaved this morning. I shaved.
Oh, it's shaved. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I shaved.
Okay, do you go to church?
Oh yeah, I go there every morning. I read, but on Sundays I do especially. I will go to the Bedside Baptist Tabernacle Church on Boston Springs. Where Reverend I.B. Sleepy is the pastor. So.
That's not what I asked.
Okay.
But do you go to church?
I try to every now and again. It's just I don't want to play with God. I do not want to play with God at all.
You don't want to play with God?
No.
Okay, that's what everybody is talking about. They don't want to play with God.
Yeah.
They don't want to stop what they're doing before they receive God. So, are you saved or not?
I'm not going. I guess to put it technically, no, I'm not.
Okay. Why would you stop your behavior before you receive God?
Too much no. I guess what people say, Yeah, I guess I get a couple of questions every now and again. People always saying, "Would I take my clothes to clean?" I'd be like, "Take my clothes to cleaners." That sounds kind of crazy to me, but you know, it's all hoopla to me. I just, I don't want to play with God, and but look at the time. We've been out here all night, talking, all that good stuff. Mm. You know, I know you helped me out all night cooking stuff, and I promised you I was gonna cook you something to eat.
Mm,
How about I go do that for you now?
that's a deal. That is a deal.